Gatorade studies the best athletes to make the world's #1 sports drink. You fuel us, we fuel you. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Woohoo! Oh yeah. I had to make sure that you heard the first few bars of that background music because we're gonna rock and roll for this second episode for season 2 of your sports locked and loaded. Yeah! Thank you very much once again. Chicky Reyes here, broadcasting from Manila, Philippines, in Quezon City, and I would like to say hello to all of us. Thank you for being with us. This is our 37th episode overall. I am very excited, very giddy, because we are bridging 2 different countries as we do this show. Doing it for an hour and a half. Stay with us until about 7 p.m. And that's about until 1 p.m. South Africa time. So I mentioned 2 countries, Philippines and South Africa. And for this show, we call it South Africa Inspiring the World through OCR. You gotta love that. You really have to love that. And we have a very good lineup of guests this evening. I'm gonna be introducing them one by one later on. But in the meantime, I'd like to say thank you, of course, to our sponsors. Thank you, Gatorade, for always being with us. Saying hello to our first viewer here, Buddy Sambalilo from the Air Force. Thank you very much, Buddy, for being there. Would like to remind our viewers, please make sure that be busy, be very busy, make your presence felt. Okay, type your question, we'll do that for you. And would like to thank as well, of course, how can we forget? Thank you to the team of Obstacle Sport Federation South Africa, led by Mr. Claude Eckstein. Thank you very much. OSFSA. I'd like to say thank you as well to the members of World Obstacle, led by Adamson. Thank you, Ian. And I would like to say thank you as well to the Pilipinas Obstacle Sports Federation, led by Attorney Al Agra. Sa mga kasamahan nating Pinoy, thank you for watching your parts in South Africa. Make your presence felt. Okay, would like to do shout-outs for you. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to the members, to the family of... Thank you for allowing us to invite you to this show and be part of this an hour and a half of bridging Philippines and South Africa. Okay, before we jump into the meat of the show, one of my favorite segments, On This Day in Sports. On This Day in Sports, we'll show May 14, 1983. 37 years, 11 months, and 17 days ago. It was a Saturday. Rosa Mota runs a female world record in the 20K of 6 minutes and 55.5 seconds. Okay, this was done 37 years ago. And Rosa Mota is from Portugal, 62 years old already, a marathon runner. And she is known for winning the Olympic gold in 1988. So keep that in mind. On This Day in Sports, 37 years ago, Rosa Mota record 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 55.5 seconds. Okay. I said South Africa, bridging the world through OCR. We're going to bridge one after the other. But before that, Gab Ferreras, thank you very much for tuning in. Buddy Sambalilo, yes, Navy. I stand corrected, not AFP. Thank you. Would like to show you this nice teaser video to show you what will happen, at least a glimpse of what will happen next Saturday, May 22, in South Africa. Hope you like that, folks. Bring our guests in. We'll start with this guy is going to be the busiest guy on that day of the race on May 22, starting at 6:30 in the morning, or even before that. Energy overflowing. When you speak with this guy, you're gonna be in. His name is Ricardo Warrior Rick Cressel, team builder and facilitator, motivational speaker, chief OCR inspirer. I'd like to bring in the Warrior Rick himself, Ricardo Cressel. You're on mute. You're on mute. You gotta say hello first, quickly. Yeah, yep. No worries. No worries.
It's done. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Nice to have you in the show, Rick. Nice to have you in the show. Hang in there. I'm gonna bring in the next guest. Okay, you can mute that mic again as I bring in the next guest. Okay, joining Rick wherever he is right now in the outdoor area, he is the of Eduplex, another guy who's going to be busy on May 22. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Nico Van der Merwe Jr. Woohoo! Hello, Nico. Nice to have you on the show. Okay, third guest for tonight's special edition of Sports Locked and Loaded. He is an OCR World Elite Athlete. Okay, South Africa champion, coach of adventure obstacle training, and the of Obstacle Sport Federation South, a super athlete, winningest male elite in South Africa from 2013 to 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, Claude Eckstein. Hi, Claude. You're on mute. You're on mute. Would like to hear from you for.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Claude. Okay, I'll put you on the side first. I'll bring in our fourth guest. Okay, our fourth guest. He will be playing a crucial part in our race next week because he is the owner of Thick Skin Equipment. But apart from that, he is an OCR elite athlete and a Spartan ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Armin Botha.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, Armin. Thank you for joining us. Okay, our fifth guest afternoon. One of the tallest, probably. Guinness record of fastest 50-meter rope climb. Guinness World Record fast rope climb in 2020. Am I right? That's right. In 2020, 100-meter sprint, OCR World Champion in 2019. Second place in the 3K OCR World Championships. 5 times top 10 elite at OCR World Championships. 19 times Warrior Race Black Ops Elite winner. And of course, South Africa champion in 2017. Thomas Van Thunder. The beast mode.
Thank you, Chiki. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. And then finally, the only rose amongst the thorns, the only lady in the group this afternoon, OCR Elite Athlete, the male elite OCR athlete in South Africa from 2015 to 2019. And she is the coach and founder of Obstacle Fitness Cape Town, OFCT. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Dominique de Oliveira. Woo!
Hello.
Hi,
Thank
Coach
you so
D.
much. Hi, sorry. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm really excited.
Okay, so now this is the challenging part in. Direct Nick, if you could bring everyone in. I want to see all the 6 guests that we have. Oh, fantastic. This is a loaded. Okay, so quickly, I'll go around and dive into what's happening next week in Pretoria, Queens, in South Africa for our OCR Eduplex. Quickly, how are you guys doing? You know, we're stuck in this pandemic for over a year now. Take your hats off as athletes or CEOs or presidents or what. I want to check How's Claude? How's Armin? How's Thomas? How's Dominic? How are you coping with it? Now we'll start with Thomas. Thomas, let me check on you.
Thanks, Chicky. Well, currently, obviously, really excited sitting here chatting to all of you lovely people. But yeah, it's better now. It's better now with the hope of the race coming up and just life in general. It's been hard for everyone, but it's getting to a point where we're all feeling a bit more positive, and me in general, just family's good, training's good. So life in general currently is not doing bad at all.
Oh, nice to hear that it's okay from your side. I want to check with Armin. Armin, how are things in South Africa?
Yeah, I think everyone would agree that it's quite difficult to put a South African down. We're quite a cheerful nation, so we always seem to find hope in the most difficult of circumstances. Obviously, yeah, we've heard some stories of despair, but ultimately, I think in a weird way, it has just brought people together again. We've seen a lot of people reaching out, getting involved in the community, and really just opening their hearts. So ultimately, if you see it from that perspective, you can't help but be optimistic about the future. I mean, we're having our first event in what seems like ages, so I'm all smiles. I think, yeah, we're slowly getting back to where we ideally want to be.
Good to hear that, Armin. I know it's a challenge, right? Trying to get back to the normal things that we do, but to your point, cheerfulness, South Africa being a cheerful nation, it really adds to that of hoping that things will become better someday. Thank you for sharing that. Claude, I'll check with you. How are things on your side?
Yeah, look, it's definitely improving. Obviously, last year we had hard lockdown, which was tough on everyone, and this year we starting to get some events back, some trail events, and yeah, our first really OCR event at Eduplex next week, and the following week we got Free State Championships. So really exciting for everyone that events are starting to come back in, which is awesome. So it gives everybody a goal to sort of aim for. I think people need goals. People need to be positive. As human beings, we want to interact and we want to see people and chat to people and laugh and just enjoy each other's company. So awesome that events are coming back in, that we can get to see everyone again and the OCR community.
That, and I'd like to inform all our viewers that wait for more announcements, because what I know is that there will be a live coverage of OCR at Edu, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll be working that with the Warrior Rick himself Saturday. So stay tuned for more details of that show, and we'll try to bring it to you live from South Africa. And speaking of Warrior Rick, he's back. He's at all right, where the event will be next week. Warrior Rick, I want to check on you quickly. You and Nico are there, but as Rick Gressel, not really Warrior Rick, how are you in the midst of the pandemic? Oh, you're on mute, my friend.
Just give me that question again, Chicky.
I just want to check on you, Rick. How are things from your end in the midst of the pandemic? How is Rick Gressel doing?
Well, I think in the beginning it was all about staying at home, and I think in the first 3 weeks it was a honeymoon there in March. So we got to know each other very well at home. We got to know our local community very, very well. We didn't go very far, but I think after the honeymoon we were ready to get back into action, and then we had a 13-month stall. So now, after 14 months of pandemic, I want to get over it, brother.
Oh, likewise, Rick. And I think we're having some difficulty with Rick's signal. We'll try to check on Nico. Direct Nick, if Nico's there, I'd like to check on him. Shout out to Olivia Grant. Thanks for watching. Like that. Direct, can we pull out Nico? Is he? We'll check. Hold on. Okay, so Nico's not there. How about Rick? Is Rick's signal stable enough that we can bring him back in? If not, I'm gonna jump straight to our to our interview here. Okay, so we'll skip Warrior Rick first. We're used to this, right, guys? The new normal, internet connection, right? Nod with me, Thomas, Armin, and Dominique and Claude. We've been experiencing this for over a year now, so this is something forgivable. So I'll skip Rick first, okay? Supposed to ask him details of OCR at Eduplex Sport, but I'll jump to our next segment here. Actually, I'll skip Rick and Nico and jump straight first to Claude. Okay, Claude, I'll put Dominique, Armin, and Thomas first. I'll start with Claude Eckstein here, the president of Sport Federation South Africa. First of all, landscape. Let's talk about the landscape of OCR in South Africa and how things are going, how World Obstacle is helping you guys. From that standpoint, how is the sport doing right now in South Africa, Claude? Let's check again if Claude was able to hear my question earlier.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost you there.
Okay, no worries. No worries, my friend. No worries. No worries. Skipping Rick, I'm skipping Nico for the meantime. But tell us more about the landscape of obstacle racing in South Africa. How is it doing now, right now? And Claude, really to prepare for a second OCR at Eduplex Sport Challenge coming on May 22.
Yeah, look, I think the sport of OCR, it's like a dead worldwide big boom, and it's we're trying to maintain things and COVID regrow again from a federation point of view. We obviously want to get this as a big goal, and included in that a big part of that is obviously development at school.
So there is a challenge right now with the signal of Claude. Am I right, Direct?
Eduplex putting on amazing events and promoting the sport.
Sorry about that, Claude. Earlier, you were the signal was a bit choppy, but we'll try to get back to Claude. Okay, we'll try to get back to Claude. We'll jump first. We'll jump. I want to go to Armin. Armin Botha. We'll check the signal again of Claude, but I'll go to Armin. Okay, there you go, Armin. Okay. Wait, I mean, Armin, we've been chatting before the show started. We're used to adversaries already. We're used to challenges, right? Nothing new. It's like engaging a course or a race, right? But I bring you in. You as Armin Botha, what do you miss most about being able to race for the most part of 2020 and frankly speaking, Armin, 2021?
Yeah, Chiki, I think there's an African proverb that summarizes it quite well. It says, when good friends meet, even water drunk together tastes sweeter. And essentially, it just comes down to, I really miss that social aspect of the racing. I miss seeing my OCR friends, my OCR family, and just the whole festive atmosphere of an event. You know, the nerves and excitement before a race, and then trading blows during a race, and afterwards we all get together and we have a beer and we share our war stories. So yeah, that's just something I really miss. I really miss seeing the people and engaging with the people.
I was nodding and smiling as you were answering that question because I would like to share with our viewers in our private chat here, Thomas, Dominic, and Armin, they're actually having a light moment in the chat box. All right, so it just shows that really do miss each other. I mean, in the race course. But okay, say water tastes sweeter. Even water tastes sweeter when you get to see people. You miss
Yeah,
the engagement, the interaction. But
yeah.
you, Armin, how have you kept mentally and physically fit without really having that specific goal of competing in a anytime soon? What did you do?
To be honest, Chiki, I live vicariously through other people, especially Thomas there. He had his world record roper climb. So that was something exciting, something that he brought to OCR in South Africa that got everyone excited. And then also, I'm quite privileged that my wife is also a national champion and a top contender in our country in her discipline. So she's training for the Olympics. So
Hmm.
our household has nothing short of any drive or motivation. And it's just been part of our lifestyle. I mean, we get up in the morning, we go train, and then we sit down and have breakfast together and share our stats. So just we've incorporated it in our lifestyle, and to me that then there's always some motivation and physically keeping fit. Yeah.
How nice to hear that. And we're showing here some of your videos that you shared
Oh
with us.
yeah.
Can you walk me through what's happening here? Where is
This
this?
is actually in the Klein Karoo, which is a semi-desert area in Northern Cape. So this is an event that they put up just pre-pandemic, and then as soon as our borders opened, so our provincial borders were closed. As soon as the provincial borders opened, my wife and I went for a bit of a holiday, and yeah, we just traveled through the country, and you know. Yeah, we needed a break from being locked down, and yeah, that's what you guys saw there. That's in the glorious Swartberg Mountains. Just an incredible place in our country, close to the Kango Caves as well. So if you're ever in South Africa, yeah, hit me up and we'll take you there.
I'll take you on that offer
Yeah,
as soon as the borders open. Okay.
yeah.
I'd like to inform people. For those of you who missed the introduction of Armin earlier, Armin is an elite OCR athlete. Okay, basketball players, Armin, when they go to a particular venue to play, they look for is the playing field nice? Is the okay, the rims okay? If you're a football player, is the pitch nice?
Yeah,
Right? If you're a
yeah.
swimmer, how nice is the pool, right? Or how beautiful is the ocean if you're a triathlete? As an elite OCR athlete, what do you look for in a race?
Well, obviously the obstacles play a massive role, and then we also have varying terrain in South Africa. So if we've got a race in this province, it's going to be completely different to another race. We had a race in Durban where we ran on beach sand for what seemed like ages, and then you're coming into the high veld and you're running on altitude. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference on where you're competing first off, and then secondly, who you're competing against also makes a difference. So if Thomas and Claude line up, you need to tighten those racing shoes because yeah, it's definitely going to be on. But you're ultimately looking for a well balanced race, so something that's proper on the running and good on the obstacles, just so that you're testing all your entire skill set during that race. You want to get off a race and then you've done everything possible. Yeah.
Armin, OCR at Eduplex obstacles are right since they were unveiled last November. While I know that all obstacles have their own unique characteristics or flavor, right? What would be for you the top obstacles that people should look out for?
Yeah, I think Eduplex, what they've done really well is there's a great variety of obstacles. So everything from just your basic obstacles to your more advanced and technical obstacles. So there's definitely been a focus shift towards the technicality of the obstacles. So bringing obstacles that were on an international level, they brought to South Africa, and not just it being the first of these kind of obstacles at a training facility, let alone in a race. So all of these obstacles have their own kind of technique towards them and their own challenges. And yeah, like I said, it's just going to test your entire skill set. So if I can just highlight three of the obstacles that I'm particularly looking forward to, it's something like the Dragon's Back. We had a short clip of it there. It's such a weird obstacle to approach. I mean, you start head first. Midway through the obstacle, you have to turn your body around. There you go. That's the Dragon's Back. And then you finish feet first. So, there's some technique towards that as well. And similarly with the rolling monkey barrels, it's an obstacle that I came across while racing abroad. And now Eduplex have just gone one up, and they've put in a double rolling monkey barrel. So instead of doing just one barrel, you have to traverse two of them to complete the obstacle. And then similarly, the ninja wheels also have their challenges. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your obstacle efficiency and proficiency. But like I said, a great balance of obstacles at Eduplex.
Now I want to bring the discussion to your company, Thick Skin, right? Because we were talking off the air earlier. To make a successful race, you need, of course, the athletes who will be participating. You need to have a nice venue. You have the athletes in South Africa. You have the nice venue. You have great support coming from World Obstacle, right? It's there, but you need to have the nice toys, the equipment, right? To make sure that the experience is complete. So Thick Skin added value to the obstacles, Armin.
So what I think the way that we added value to these obstacles is we brought obstacles of an international caliber to South African soil. And now having it in a race, it affords athletes the opportunity to, first of all, hone their skills on these obstacles that are part of various international races. So previously, like I said, we shifted the focus towards the technicality of the obstacles. So now athletes can come and they can train on these obstacles. They can race on these obstacles on South African soil before heading abroad and competing on these obstacles on an international circuit. But all of that being said, obviously it comes down to the fun elements of it. And ultimately at Eduplex, growing it from grassroots, they're focusing a lot on the kids. And I mean, if you see these kids on the obstacles, it's just pure joy. And I suppose in a certain extent, that's why we're doing it as well. We feel like kids again. If you're swinging around on those obstacles, oh man, you just feel alive.
I love the way you answer that. Full of, I mean, I'm sure people will be excited to see how Thick Skin has added value to the. I'm going to put you on the spot here. A little bird told me that during the lockdown, you produced a new OCR team. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. All right.
Yeah.
Apart from asking you how many of the teammates will be participating on Saturday on May 22nd, how many will actually hit the podium? Ooh, okay. I want to hear this.
Cheeky, to be honest, it started a bit off more of a bit of a social club. So it was just a bunch of guys, sending messages. I know if you want to go for a long run on this weekend, or you want to go for a cycle or do a training session or what have you. So that's how the whole thing started, and from there on, it just snowballed. So we're going to be about 20 athletes competing from the Thick Skin team. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but some of them are really showing tremendous form. And everyone will have to tune in and see what happens on race day.
That's a safe answer from the side of Armin there. Okay, so Armin, thank you very much for those questions. I'll put you on the side, okay? I'll put you on the side for a while in the backstage. I'm jumping back to Warrior Rick because he was able to find a nice place with Nico there. So it's going to be a combination of Rick and Nico already. Gentlemen, thank you for moving around the playground area. So straight to the point here. I want to ask you, share with us, people watching right now, details of the event. We already know it's on May 22. Where will it be held? What time will it be? Can we watch it online? If yes, platform. And who will be participating, Rick?
So Saturday, the 22nd of May, just 1 week from tomorrow. Absolutely right, Cheeky. We're going to start at 7 o'clock with our elite athletes. And At 7:15, we'll have our females. We're going to start with the males at 7 o'clock for the 12K, and then 7:15 for our females. Also 12K. We've also got a 6K course, and then finally the 200-meter sprint course, which I'm sure Dominique is waiting there with bated breath to be part of, because she is the sprint queen of OCR here in South Africa.
So I also in the flyers, digital flyers, that it's open for families as well, right? Kids and moms and dads. Is this true?
Absolutely. In fact, that is really the focus. No just on Dom or Thomas or Armin or Claude or any of our guests who are OCR elite athletes. But as you know, Chiki, around the world, our weekend warriors, certainly our families, children, are the ones who make up at least 80% of the participants. And here at Eduplex, being a school itself, from primary to high school, we're expecting the majority of the participants to be family members, to be children. The sport is still in development. That's why Claude Extien has taken on the role as president of OSFSA to build the sport to the level that it should be. So we're expecting lots of families here on Saturday, the 22nd of May. It's on the video. Okay. We're standing by for you, Chiki. And just to note that all of the technical obstacles are tailored for children as well as adults. So there's something for everyone. So there's no obstacle that is left for any particular type of athlete. We've catered for all ages, all sizes, and all capabilities. It looks easy, man. I know. Just carry away or something. Absolutely. Absolutely. I did black off. Tight to loosening up as it gets weaker, so you'll have perfect vision. My nearsightedness is the same. That hasn't changed. And now I can't read up close. I've got to get, especially with phones. That's when you started noticing it, is with the phones. So I've got my contacts on to see far, and then I have to put my reading glasses on. Otherwise, we're both. Boardroom, because he does have video of it, because then we would have had a sharp connection. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got the video, but I just thought, wow, I mean, we're here. That's the whole idea anyway. It's
think speaking to other guys are fine. He asked a lot about the event. I mean, like Armin knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just clued up.
And Thomas as well.
In terms of information, we're cool.
We're back, we're back, we're back. Yeah. I'm back, I'm back. Woohoo! Apologies for that, Warrior Rick. You know, things happen beyond our control. And now we're back. Now we're back. Going back to you, Rick. You were saying earlier. Rick, I think you're on mute. Your mic is mute. My apologies for that, my friend. My apologies for that.
Now, how's that, Chiki?
Yep. You're sounding good. Sorry for that. Something happened with my connection.
No worries. No problem. Just sharing with you the fact that all of the obstacles here, I'm here at one of the walls, for example. They're catering for all ages. I mean, what's beautiful about it is the fact that it doesn't matter if you're a primary school athlete, high school, elite athlete. We've got special and unique lanes for all ages, all capabilities, genders. Everyone is welcome. We've even had requests from the adaptive athletes, and we're working towards seeing how we can assist them and work together with them, because OCR is for everyone. It's not only for elite athletes. And as you said earlier in the program, this is a development sport. It's still new, it's still fresh. And as with OSFSA, the Federation for South Africa's World Obstacle International Federation, we're aligned to them. We're aligned to what is required and what is needed in terms of standards. And so our battlefield caters for anyone who's willing to go through the challenge and go through the challenge together.
Fantastic. Now, I've always known you as a person with who doesn't run out of energy, always ready to entertain, to make things festive. How festive will May 22 be with Rick Gressel behind the microphone on that day?
Well, never mind me and my mouth, my friend. You know it'll be here. It'll be full of energy and full of excitement. But I'm excited about a few other things that you and I love to talk about. We got craft beer, my brother. I'm going to see if we can get some San Miguel on order. But there'll be craft beer. There's craft gin. There's boerewors rolls, the local South African hot dog, which you can look forward to. We've got musical entertainment. And we've got, most importantly, people coming together in a safe place to play, a well-maintained environment where we'll be outdoors, plenty of sun. It's a beautiful time of year in South Africa in autumn, 27 degrees today in Pretoria. So I can tell you what, the festivities are going to be on point. The athletes, as I said, of all categories and all capabilities will be on point. It's just going to be an awesome time to be festive and to celebrate what we can do and not worry about what we can't do.
Rick, I always know you for a guy who does something in order to support a bigger cause. So this event that you'll have on May 22, does this have a CSR component, a partner, an outreach partner that you guys will be sponsoring or helping or supporting?
So we don't have a specific partner this year, but I'm proud to confirm that SPAR will be a part of the event. So SPAR is our local grocery store, and they are a huge advocate of ending gender-based violence. So they will be here. I've partnered with them as a brand ambassador of SPA to help end gender-based violence. It's an important part of my school talks. So because Eduplex is one of the schools on my calendar, I've already spoken to the primary school and the high schools. You can bet that SPA will partner with us in terms of helping the scourge against women and children, so that we can put an end to this social injustice of gender-based violence.
I always love checking the lineup. You know, who will toe the line, who will start the race. Let me ask you. I might be putting you on the spot here because I know that you are friends with a lot of top athletes. But really, come race day, all right. Come race day. Who are the athletes that we should look out for? Okay. Okay. Put it this way. Give me top 3 men, top 3 women.
Well, it's not because they're on this program, but you got them on the show, my brother. So Thomas Montonder, we missed him in November. Because of his Guinness Book of World Records rope climb for Red Bull. I don't know why he thought that was more important than OCR to Eduplex, but anyway, because he's going to be back on the scene next Saturday, you can expect him to take certainly the 12-kilometer. If he does the 6-kilometer, he'll take that as well. He might have a challenge in the sprint course. I don't know how his fast twitch muscles are working, but I'm definitely going to give him the first place on the 12-kilometer. Dominique D'Oliveira, who's on this call, is still the reigning sprint queen. There's no surprise there. She's healthy. She's strong. She's been busy with her parkour development, which is going to work beautifully for her, for the apparatus here at the Queenswood battlefield at 8 OCR at Eduplex. So I'm picking her for the first place as the sprint queen. Some names that are going to be new to some of the guys here, but they know him well. Not just because he's from my neighborhood in Benoni, but look out for Gary Marie. Gary Marie from Thick Skin. Look out for him in the long distance running. He's been practicing a lot of his group obstacles. And he's obviously, with being part of the Thick Skin team, he knows the Thick Skin equipment and he knows how to grip it. The rest of the field, my brother, it's a toss-up. It really depends on who's going to make the journey from Cape Town and Durban. But here in Johannesburg, brother, they're in for an amazing race. Maybe we should ask Thomas or Dom who they think is going to join them on the podium.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rick. And would you be kind enough to show quickly what's behind you and how beautiful that place is where everything will happen next Saturday? My goodness, it's a big playground there. All right, very nice, very nice.
So
Okay,
we got the Dragons back. I'm going to go. Here's the Dragons.
Go ahead.
Back. You heard Armin talking about one of our international obstacles that we're very proud of. And it's the Dragons back. We have 2 of them here. So the Dragons back is a very popular one. I think it debuted at the OCR World Championships in the UK 2 to 3 years ago, before COVID. We've also got the flywheel that I'm walking to now. You can see Nico in front of me. This is a really unique obstacle. I think Nico's going to give us a demonstration. So hopefully we still got a good signal. This is the free. Look at that. Look at this. The director of Eduplex,
wow.
CEO of Half. Look at him go.
Wow.
I tell you what, I told you it's for all ages, my friend. All ages, not just the young people.
Thank you, Rick. Now, that's a good segue, actually, because I want to ask Nico a couple of questions. I hope you don't mind if you give him that phone that you're using right now. Hey, Nico, thanks for doing that sample right now. So, I'd like to ask you, Eduplex, how did it start? Was it really a place where people can just exercise, have fun, compete, enjoy the outdoors? Was that the main purpose when Eduplex started?
Well, no, actually, Eduplex is a school, a mainstream school, where they incorporate 3 to 4 deaf children in each school. So to go a step back, our family, we're in the hearing health business with hearing aids and clinics. And we said we want to make a difference in deaf education. And that's where the vision for the Eduplex was born. So how did we get involved? Of course, we had the traditional school sports. And then we said, but a lot of children with cochlear implants or hearing aids, they don't take part in a lot of the action sports. Myself, I'm an underwater hockey player. I love alternative sports. And at the beginning of the year after lockdown, one of the directors actually said, but you know what, the kids in lockdown sitting at home, when they get back, they can't even do rope skipping. And 6 months later, from not being able to rope skip, we've got this whole obstacle course that we built.
Wow.
So the moment we got in contact with the OCR athletes, West Hendricks and Armin, it's completely something unique that we've built. And we're really proud of it. And the idea is for kids to take part. Personally, I think OCR is one of those sports. It's total body development. It's completely underrated, I think, by many sports. And it's really the future to get outside and enjoy the outdoors.
Wow. How big is the grounds there in Eduplex?
You keep going.
So City Council donated about 5 years ago just under 6 hectares.
Whoa.
So we developed OCR. We've got a pump track that the Swiss Velo Solutions built, international pump track. We've got the traditional sports. So really, and we developed the sports field specifically, not only for the school, but for the whole community. That was our vision right from the beginning.
So how many obstacles are we looking at, Nico, on May 22 that will be engaged in by our athletes on Saturday?
Well, that's actually still a secret, but I can give you a hint. It's definitely going to be 40 plus. Over the 12 kilometers, you'll get close to 50 obstacles that you'll have to get over. Nice running track, hard running track, and some very exciting obstacles. And what's great about our facilities for OCR is there's a great spectator value because we're using the bigger rugby fields, the football fields, that we can place a lot of the obstacles, and your family can come together and actually see you go over all the obstacles.
Wow. So close to 50 for the 12-kilometer long distance category. That's a lot of obstacles there. So earlier, Nico, I asked Warrior Rick what would make the overall event or all event festive and fun. I'm now going to ask you what would make the actual races more exciting on Saturday. Will the podium finishers get cash prizes? What's in store for our winners?
Yes, of course. We've got a couple of sponsors on board, like Rick said, Spa from the local Spa, On Shoes. So we've got a couple of sponsors, but there's also cash prizes for the elite athletes, also to reward their hard work. So there's prizes for the 12 kilometer, 6 kilometer, and 200 for first, second, and third.
Male and female.
Male and female, correct.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot here. If you and Rick go head to head right now with whatever you guys are wearing, who do you think is going to win?
Maybe we should do the cargo net. What do you think?
Wait. This is unrehearsed, brother.
Well, Dominic says do it. Armin says do it.
Okay,
Everyone in. Okay, like this. Head on to that area, Rick. Give me a chat if you're ready to compete with Nico. But while you're preparing, I'm gonna move on to Claude. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Claude first, and then we're gonna do that nice competition there. So, direct, we're gonna make it happen, Armin. Don't worry, we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go to Claude. Claude, let me check your signal again. Okay, Rick, I'm gonna go back to you. I'm gonna check if Direct is Claude still in the show. Can we interview? Oh, Claude is not there. Okay, so before I jump to Thomas and Dominique, I want to see this quickly. Unrehearsed, head-to-head battle. Rick Grasso and Nico, the director of Eduplex. What obstacle is this, Rick?
This is the cargo net.
Cargo net.
And I really don't appreciate Dominic's comment, because she's the one that when we were at Cape Town, she asked me to do a bunch of stuff, and then I twisted my ankle. But that's okay. I love her anyway.
Okay, we're not gonna. Okay, let's not go head to head, but more of I want to see Rick engage in this obstacle here, just like what Nico's doing, and then
Well, who do you think's holding the camera, my man?
woohoo!
I'm in it to win it.
Long sleeves and all for Nico. Warrior Rick in his familiar Reebok attire, head to foot. And they say age is but a number.
Exactly, but
Dominic?
remember, come the 22nd of May, you'll see the re-race.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for being so game and doing this. Rick, Dominic said you got to warm up first. Make sure that your joints will not ache tonight.
Thank you, Dominique. Thank you very much. That's good advice now that I've finished it already. But I want to say that I cheated because I'm the cameraman.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring in Thomas now. Oh, before I bring in Thomas, okay, I'd like to say Nico, Rick, thank you very much for giving us a tour of the playground of Eduplex, of what people will expect on Saturday. Please hang in there. I'm gonna put you in the virtual backstage. I'm gonna move on to Thomas and Dominique for a few more questions. All right, gentlemen, awesome job there. So we'll bring in our Red Bull ambassador, Thomas Van Thunder, the beast mode. And he's been quite busy in the chat box there. Were you surprised that I made them engage in one of the obstacles?
I think not really. They were hanging around there and they looked like they were just itching to get onto something. So you might just help them a little bit. And like Armin said, South Africans, we're a very optimistic, crazy bunch, if I should say it like that. So I assume that they enjoyed it.
Well, we enjoyed watching them do it. And I like what Nico said, that come Saturday, it's going to be the real race. So
I'm going to remind him of that.
Okay, Thomas, a few questions for you. Thank you, first of all, for joining us here in Sports Locked and Loaded. But let's talk about what happened to you in the lockdown. You shifted your focus during the lockdown, and with no races on your calendar, at least locally or even internationally, right? You decided to attempt a Guinness World Record for the fastest rope climb. Tell us more about it. What happened there?
I think you framed it correctly by saying what happened in lockdown. Like, I think we all can relate with the world being stopped and with the hard lockdown in South Africa, and I guess where you guys are as well. You weren't able to go anywhere or do anything. There wasn't any goals on calendar, and you really move into like a bad mental space. I don't think humans are designed to like stay in this little bubble. And from that, I had this feeling that I need to reach for something. Like no races. Like what am I doing here? What is Thomas? Who is Thomas? What am I doing? And I had to think of something that's big enough to kind of force me to get out of my little comfort stagnant zone and try and achieve something. And the product of all of that was the fastest 50-meter rope climb. As part of a 94-meter rope climb to the summit of what's called the Soweto Towers. It's like a cooling towers of an old power station in Johannesburg. And it all started just as me trying to reach and achieve something. And then it kind of snowballed into this Guinness World Record attempt. We did a whole Red Bull documentary on it, and it really grew into this massive project. I think like you guys can see some visuals there of what it actually looked like. That is the Soweto Towers, and that bridge is 94 meters high. And the goal was initially just to get from the bottom to the top of the towers. And then within that process, we kind of found this Guinness World Record possibility. And the team with Red Bull and everyone was amazing in putting together the structure and everyone behind making this possible. And we actually got it. Actually got a Guinness World Record title currently, which is mind blowing if I have to think about it. But that is that was my result of what do I want to do? How does Thomas achieve something? And the bigger part of that whole project, I know it looks crazy now, and Thomas did this crazy thing, but for me, if I can inspire other people to kind of go back and think for themselves, what is their big something to reach towards? If I can use this project to kind of inspire people to just do a little mental digging and find that something for them that they can reach towards, then I feel this whole thing was a win.
This is the actual attempt, right, Thomas, that we're watching right now, right?
Yes, that is the actual attempt on attempt day. For the halfway mark, there's a little timing box. We'll see in a couple of seconds. That's the timing box. So that's 50 meters. And that's
I want to
about
ask
halfway
you.
up the towers. Yes.
I want to ask you. I'm sure every time you engage in a race, there's this anxious moment right before the race starts. I mean, all athletes go through that. But this thing that you did, this feat, all right, that we're watching right now, obviously there are a lot of things behind it, right? You want to you want to promote something, you want to inspire people, you want to get that record. What was the feeling right before you touched that rope? What was going on in your head? If you could walk us through on that day that you did that.
That's a good question. At that time, I'm not thinking about the bigger picture, the inspirations, like where it started, what's the goal for the whole thing. When I started there and at the bottom, looking up at this in almost infinity rope, the mental aspects was just be calm, be composed, and do what you trained in the gym. Just focus, complete focus. Shut out the camera crew, shut out everything, and just focus on just the small physical task of little repetition all the way up the rope. Just, I would call it focus. But the biggest part for me, when I had a little moment of what am I doing here, was just after I hit that timing box. So we had the 50 meter, and there was obviously big vibes and go Thomas, 50 meter mark, Guinness World Record attempt. But then as soon as I hit the timing box, you kind of realize, okay, I'm halfway up this monster high tower, and I still have the other half to go. And like, if you look to the side, the towers are way over there. The ground seems like the people walking around with little ants. If you look up, it seems so far. It's like, I still have to climb this. So I did have a little moment of like, Thomas, what are you doing here?
But you made it. You set that record, and I might be putting you as well on the spot here. I'm sure you're thinking of in the future, probably not in the near future, but probably you'd want to beat that record that you made, right?
That's a good question. Yes. I get that a lot. People asking me, would you try it again? What would you do if other people beat it? And it's very difficult, specifically with the rope climb, because it's so unconventional. Like, people don't know it. Yes, we who do obstacle races, like, we know it a little bit. But imagine you're racing 100 meter, but you're the only one running. How do you know if you're fast or not? Like, it's difficult for me to compare my time to know if other people would try and beat it or not, because I'm the only one who's kind of attempted this thing for time specifically. So obviously, if someone beats it, I'd for sure like to regain my throne, but I'll wait for that to happen. Hopefully people try this. I'm really keen for someone else to attempt this so that I can know if I was like really slow or if I actually have a decent record.
So there you go. That challenge is on. You're right. It's nice to enjoy first what you have achieved. If somebody beats it along the way, then you'll cross that bridge when you get there and try to beat it again. But for the meantime, enjoy it. Right? You were able to set a record, and then congratulations to you. Now let's go to OCR at Eduplex. I do believe that last year you were supposed to compete, but you didn't, right? Because you were preparing for the rope climb. Now, will this be technically your first race after March of 2020 that you'll be competing in?
Yeah, that's true. This will be from about start of March 2020. I have not officially raced any obstacle race up to now next weekend at Eduplex Sports. And it's slightly nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's almost like my mind kind of forgot how this racing thing works. Like, what do I do? But I believe my training has been going well, and as soon as it's like 3, 2, 1, go, I'm pretty sure we'll just go back to autopilot and beast mode will take over. So I'm not too stressed about that part, but it's just very exciting to have a goal, to have an event that's on calendar, and to have a quality event. There's a lot of people trying to put on events, and especially in these difficult times, it's hard to have events come, just any event, but having a quality event with like quality representation of all the athletes in the country, it's very fulfilling to have that goal to aim towards, and to know these people are behind it all.
I'm sure you're super duper excited. 1 week away from the competition, and you're aching to go enter that battlefield in the beautiful Eduplex property, right? What would the morning feel like, Thomas, come race day? I've hosted what triathlon events, Ironman events here and there. I have a good idea of the vibe, but for South Africa, for OCR at Eduplex, after being absent, no local races, no local competitions for quite a while, stuck in the pandemic, everyone's excited. What do you think will the morning feel like on May 22?
Sure. I think nerves are going to be high for everyone, but excitement is going to be just as present. Like I've been to that venue before, and it's a pretty, how do you call it? It's not too wide. It's pretty controlled. Like the venue, everyone is going to see each other warming up, and I believe pre-race the nerves are going to be there, but post-race is going to be amazing. Just having the thing that we've all been longing for back for a little bit. So having that racing atmosphere, being in the being in the fight in the race, and finishing, being tired, and talking to all of your friends, I believe that would bring a lot of positivity just to everyone. I feel, me personally, I'm looking forward to that. The race, I'm a bit nervous about it, but if you're not nervous about something, then you're not serious enough. Then you're kind of slacking on it. So I think the Eduplex guys, Armin with the thick skin equipment, and just the whole team behind it, has been incredible in just ticking all the right boxes and making sure the obstacles are safe, and especially for the kids and the development of the school leagues. And there's a very few obstacle companies or race venues that really cater for the beginner, intermediate, especially like kids getting into the sport, basically the future of the sport. And it's, for me, amazing to see these guys cater towards them. Almost a little proud to be the part of OCR. The video you can see now, that's from 2014. That was one of our national championships events. That is specifically the Warrior Race, one of our very well-known local events. Hence, Warrior Rick comes from the Warrior Race.
Wow.
We're not going to have any of those events in this year, but they are starting up again next year. This event specifically is well known for the really long rigs. Like, look at this thing; it's like it doesn't end.
But judging by the tone of your voice and your expression, you're really excited to go out there next week and play, because you mentioned it's been quite a while since you've really participated in a race, right?
Exactly. That's the core feeling for me, is just to get back to the swing of things, get back to the community, and have a race. The biggest goal for me is OCR World Championships, October. That's in Stratton, Vermont, in USA, and it'll be hard to have that as the first event. I'd love to have some build-up races, and there's been a couple that we've got really close, and then the COVID numbers rise, and you know how it goes. We kind of postpone it or cancel it, and just happy to have a focus coming up. Like, really, really excited for what that means, not just for the racing scene, but I think in general, people need a bit more positive news. Like, I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It'll just inspire so much positivity. It'll spread some positivity, and not just in our community, but in the families as part of that. If we can all just have that bit of social, and have that bit of getting to that achievements and just sharing positive energy. I'm pretty sure that'll make a big difference in the community in general, and impact a lot more than just us running until we're tired and standing on the podium. So in that sense, it brings a lot more to society than just us running, doing crazy cool obstacles.
Wow. You know what? I could go on and on asking you a lot of questions. I should be setting a separate show, another show for you, Dominic, and then Armin, sometime what in the near future. Okay, so don't be surprised if I reach out to you and let's have another chat, a part two, and I'd love to pick your brains further. But in the meantime, Thomas, if you don't mind, I'll put you on the side first. I'll put you in the
Perfect.
backstage because I'll bring in the only rose amongst the thorns in our session this evening. Dominique de Oliveira, please do join me.
Hey,
And-
Chiggy.
Hey, and I saw your chat there. I did not forget you. I want to ask you first, how are you doing in the midst of the pandemic before we go deep into OCR discussion here? Go ahead, Dominic.
Chiki, to be honest with you, I'm doing great. I know there's been a lot of people struggling around the world, and what we've seen is very sad, and what people have experienced is very sad. But I have learned, and obstacle course racing has actually taught me a lot about overcoming adversity. And I've learned to rise to challenges. And I know, I speak through my faith in this, but I know God doesn't give us challenges that we can't handle, and we can only get stronger through these challenges. So that's a big part of what I've learned during lockdown. I learned to face challenges. I learned to adapt. I had to adapt as an athlete, as a business person. So yeah, I think in the long run, I think when we're looking in the present tense, it gets difficult because, you know, we're just focusing on what's going on and we're focusing on the difficulty and on the turmoil. But I think if we try and look ahead, I think a lot of us can see that maybe what we went through can help us become stronger in many ways. So yeah, and I think it's a great correlation with obstacle racing and overcoming obstacles. The pandemic is just one huge obstacle for the entire world.
I love how you put that together, Coach D. You know, in looking at adversities and comparing it to OCR, because indeed, you know, you don't know what life is going to throw your way, right? A couple of curveballs here and there, but it's how we overcome these challenges that make life more meaningful, that make life give us a lot of purpose. And I'd like to ask, what led you to OCR? Has this been your dream even when you were a kid, that someday I'll be one of those people hanging on those bars? Did you really plan for this? How did it land on your lap?
No, not at all. I didn't know what obstacle racing was when I was a kid. I don't even think, I mean, I'm 37 years old now, so I don't even think it was a sport when I was a kid. So my journey actually started many years ago with artistic gymnastics. I was a high performance artistic gymnast. I represented South Africa with gymnastics, and I got a scholarship to go to the University of Utah in the US, and I competed there for a few years. And then I'll try to keep this story relatively brief, but then I got back to South Africa after I graduated, and I needed another challenge. And the people I was hanging around with, they did triathlons. So I started doing triathlons for a while. I did a couple sprints, Olympic distance, and then I did 2 half Ironman distance triathlons. And then through that journey, I started doing a couple, there was the Impy Challenge. I did that for fun with some friends a couple times. And in doing it, I enjoyed it a lot, but I got frustrated with waiting around at the obstacles, because when you do some of these events for fun, you tend to wait in queues when there's a bit of like congestion at the obstacles. And I saw the elite ladies doing it, and I was thinking like, well, maybe I could do it as an elite. And there was quite a bit of prize money involved. And then one of my coworkers at the time, he dared me to do the Warrior Race. That was when the Warrior Race first came to Cape Town. It was 2013. And I entered Black Ops Elite, didn't really know what I was in for. And it was probably one of the toughest events of my life. But I managed to win it, and I think I was addicted from there. So that's
So it's
that's the story in
it's
a nutshell.
it's pretty much like the OCR bug bit you, right? And there was no
So yeah,
looking back for you.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, I know that you won a lot of many long distance races, right? And along with other distances. But um, for this coming weekend, you'll be participating in the 200-meter short course and the sprint course and the 6 kilometer short course. Why are you focusing more now on the sprint courses rather than on the long distance courses?
Well, there was a time where I was doing both events. The Warrior Race, I was doing, yeah, so I was doing the long courses, and then the Warrior Race introduced the sprint courses. Oof, I can't remember the exact year, maybe 2015, it could
Uh
be.
huh.
And so I was doing both at the time, and it was quite demanding on my body. I think the other, like Thomas will definitely recognize because he also did both quite intensely. And also having to run the business at the same time, it got difficult to try and manage my training for the longer events, the shorter events. And I realized I'm actually better at the short events. I don't know if it's a genetic predisposition to, short, high intensity anaerobic exercise, or if it's my gymnastics background that kind of helped
Uh
me
huh.
with that. But it comes more naturally to me. I really do struggle with the long distance running. I have to put in a lot of work to improve my endurance, my speed endurance. So I kind of made a smart decision based on the time that I had available to train, what I was really enjoying doing, and what I was good at. So I just tried, yeah, I picked wisely. And I think, over the long run, it was quite hectic on my body in terms of my joints to do all of the events. So yeah, that's why I decided to go the short route.
You think it's gonna be a tough field on May 22nd? With the other participants, other elite athletes racing alongside the Coach D.
I definitely think it can be. I'm not sure who's lining up as under the elite females. I think Sabrina Diolio, I think she's going to be there, and she's definitely someone to contend with. I know, like Armin said, some of the thick-skinned girls, they must be there, and if they're in top form, there's definitely going to be good competition. But yeah, we haven't raced against each other for such a long time, so it gets difficult to kind of know where everybody is with their strength and conditioning and their fitness level. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, I think.
Fantastic, fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna ask you another question in a few. I just want to put this out. Maybe Warrior Rick, you can help me answer this later on when I bring you back in. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this out from Andy Reid. Um, Hi, Andy Reid from OCR Adaptive Athletes. My question to you all: do you allow adaptive or para athletes? And second question is, how would you encourage women and girls from different disabilities to participate in OCR? Dominic, maybe you can answer this one.
I can't speak from a race organizer's perspective in terms of like how the race is conducted,
But
but
the
I
second
definitely,
question, yeah.
yeah, from a female perspective, look, I think a lot of females feel intimidated when it comes to physically challenging events, especially ones that are challenging for upper body. I
Mhm.
think from a personal perspective, my gymnastics has given me a bit of a background with upper body strength, but I don't think it's reason to not take part in any of these events. I think as a female, it's good to rise to a challenge, and I think we need to allow ourselves to work towards these challenges and give ourselves a goal to train for, and speak to other females who have been involved in the sport. What do they do for training? We need to train a little bit different to how guys need to train, and I think the only way that we can grow the sport, especially as females, is to back each other, encourage each other, help each other, give each other tips. From a personal point of view, I'm trying to start using my social media accounts to see how I can enable others to train for these things. It's something I'm just kind of starting. I try to throw out tips every now and again, but I think I've realized now that I need to start putting more out there in terms of like training tips, especially being a coach. I kind of get shy to give advice, but I think it's important for us to help each other. Yeah.
Oh wow,
I don't know if I
I
answered the question there.
yes, you did. And in fact, I'm going to ask you, would you mind sharing your social media account handles so people can follow you? And if they have questions, if you don't mind, they could probably send private messages on your social media account. Is it
Sure.
Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm probably more active on Instagram than on Facebook. My account is at Dominique, spelled DOMINIQUE underscore D'Oliveira, DOLIVEIRA. And yeah, I don't, sometimes I'm not very active because I get really busy and it's the last thing I think of and it takes me forever to make posts. But if anybody has any questions, they're welcome to direct message me. And like I said, I'm going to start working on putting some more posts out there. So if you guys have anything specific that you'd like to know, any kind of tips that you'd like, then yeah, feel free to give me a shout out. I'm actually going to go train later and I'm going to see if I can put some tips together on how to accomplish the rigs, the ones that we might see at Eduplex. So look out for that in the next few days.
There you go. We put it already. Your handle, your Instagram handle. It's hold on. There, down there. There you go. Okay, you
That's
can
it, yeah.
follow her there. Or probably if you're from the area, you can even contact your facility, right? Your OCR facility that you put up, which leads me to my next question. How is OFCT faring right now during the restrictions of the lockdown?
We've had a very bumpy ride, Chiki. So last year we had to close for 7 months because our facility was on a school property. Yeah, so the restrictions were even higher there. So I try to conduct a lot of classes online, but obviously it's not quite the same when you don't have obstacles to train with. So we lost some members, but then when we opened again, our membership started growing. And in fact, our kids' membership started growing a lot because I think a lot of the schools had shut down their school sport. So that was great if you had to take the positives that came out of the lockdown. But then our contract was up at the school because the school is starting to build on the grounds that we were on. So we had to move and we have still not found a suitable facility. So we're currently in limbo, don't have a facility to train at, unfortunately. We are busy looking and doing our best to reposition ourselves. There are a couple other great facilities not so nearby. Unfortunately, it's a little bit further out, but definitely within travel, like in Stellenbosch or at the Ostrich Farm. So Stellenbosch has Winelands Obstacle Works, and also in Stellenbosch, there's Bottleray Adventures. And then also at the Ostrich Farm, there's the Titan Run. So those are the ones that are kind of nearby. But we're definitely hoping to get our facility up and running as soon as possible.
Well, I wish you all the best on that endeavor of yours, and
Thank
I
you.
do hope that yours and other businesses in South Africa and other parts of the world would be able to bounce back, right, and get some sense of normalcy and earn a living again. I'd like to bring out this message of Andy. Andy, thank you so much. He said that I shared this on our Facebook page, worldwide group, as discussion is very important. Full respect. Thank you so much, Andy, for appreciating what we're doing right now. And we'll try to bring more shows your way with regard to OCR. Okay, back to you, Dominic. I heard from a little bird again, okay, that you engage into a different type of activity called parkour. How's your development in parkour?
Well, Chiki, I don't know if you know much about parkour. I didn't know much about it when I first started giving it a go, but it's basically another form of obstacle sport. It's another way to overcome obstacles. It's just that people who do parkour, you call them traceurs, they overcome obstacles in their natural environment. So I really don't feel like I'm heading too far off of the obstacle racing, and I feel like it's a nice amalgamation, or at least a nice blend of the two, and I can work on them both together because now the International Gymnastics Federation is trying to make parkour a competitive sport under the gymnastics banner, and there's a bit of controversy with how it's being done, but I don't want to go into that now. But there's a competitive element to it, which really speaks to me in terms of they've got a short course, a speed course, which is similar to obstacle sprints. And then they've got a more sort of freestyle routine kind of element, which speaks to my gymnastics background. So At the beginning of 2020, the Warrior Race canceled all their sprint races. So it kind of hit me hard because that's what I had chosen to focus on. But then about a month later, I got a call from the South African Gymnastics Federation, asking me if I would like to represent South Africa in parkour. And at first I was like, what? I don't even do parkour. What is parkour? And then they explained it to me and I was like, you know what, hang on, maybe this is happening for a reason. Maybe God put this on my path. And it's another way to reach people and to show people that women are capable, and also that like the beauty of the sport. So there's beauty in obstacle racing, or there's beauty in parkour. There's beauty in all sports, and it's there for us to learn to overcome challenges, to face adversity, same way we're doing in this pandemic. But I think sport teaches us great lessons in that. So yeah, with my journey, I've got a hell of a lot to learn, but I'm really excited about it. My body is not the body I had when I was doing gymnastics. I'm much older now, so I have to be wise with my training. But I'm really excited about it. And even if I can't walk the journey from a competitive point for a very long time, because I know it is quite demanding on one's body, then I want to be a part of spreading the word throughout South Africa, throughout the world, coaching people. I love coaching children. So I want to bring that at some point into what I do at our obstacle coaching facility. And just get people to be active and enjoy using their bodies and explore their gifts and what God has given them. And just, enjoy life through movement expression, basically.
I love how you answered that inquiry of mine, and I do hope that a lot of women watching us right now, especially in your area or even outside South Africa, if you want to engage in this sport, whether it be obstacle racing or parkour, Dominique has shared her social media account. Ask her questions, please. I would love to see more women in the sport, right, Dominique?
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know if I can answer all the questions, especially with regards to parkour just yet. But coincidentally, I am on the South African parkour from the gymnastics point. I'm on the committee, and we're looking for ways to develop the sport. So we'd love to take it into communities and, just educate people that it's not about only jumping from one building to another, because I think a lot of people have that impression, but it's just about using your body most efficiently in any environment. So yeah, you're welcome to ask me questions. I'll try my best to answer them. And if I can't answer them, I'll try and find the answers. But yeah, let's get involved. And I will start sharing as much as I can in terms of where I'm doing parkour. At the moment, it's at a park wherever I can. But yeah, that'll be great.
You know what? I told I told Thomas, I know you heard it earlier. I'm gonna do another show with you, Armin and Thomas, and whoever Rick would be throwing in as part of all athletes. We're gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna set that one up soon. But let's talk family here, Dominique. Again, this little bird told me that a young 62-year-old female will be joining you. All right, on the 6K kilometer short distance and sprint courses for the race on Saturday on May 22. Your mom, Catherine Arrington, am I right?
That
will be
is
joining
correct.
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So firstly, she will be 64 in June.
Oh, 64. Okay.
I don't mean to age her, but just to put everything in perspective of what she's accomplished. I think we need to make her age clear. So she's quite incredible. So not only is she an obstacle athlete and my mother, she's also my business partner. So the two of us run Obstacle Fitness Cape Town together. And she's an incredible woman. So I think she started the sport maybe, I guess, 2014, 2015. And she just did it because she was out there at the events supporting me. And so she decided, she'll do some of the events for fun. And then it kind of grew on her, and she ultimately, long story short, she started entering some of the elite events, and last year she went to the World Championships in London. And despite her age, she's still quite a competitive person there out on the field. She doesn't run particularly fast. No offense, Mom, you are getting faster. But I think she's one of the strongest women out there, especially at her age. And I love being a part of that, and I love seeing it and sharing it with her. And like, I feel quite proud that I can also coach her through it. So it's quite an incredible journey. And with regards to our business, she's the backbone of our business. I mean, I'm hands-on in terms of the coaching, and I maybe do a little bit of the admin, but I wouldn't be able to do it. We wouldn't be able to run the business without her. So she does most of the admin and the financials and things like that. So yeah, thanks, Mom. I really appreciate you.
I love the teamwork that you have with Kathy, and I hope that when I invite you again, you could bring her along in the show, and we could interview her also and inspire other women in that age range to continue in leading a healthy and active lifestyle. And I think that would be a nice topic that we could discuss with your mom if she's cool in joining you next time. I hope she is.
She would be. I think that's a great idea. I think we should do that.
All right. Dominique, fantastic. Thank you for answering those questions. I'm going to bring the guys back in. Okay. I'm not sure if Stuart Amory is checking in. Last I checked with Director Nick, I don't think that he is in the backstage, but I'll bring everyone in. Okay. Thank you. Oh, wow. Different background now for Thomas. And Warrior Rick is already under the shade. Thank you for. I hope your joints are okay. And with that challenge with Nico. And just so you know, Thomas, Dominic, and Armin were having a blast in the chat box while you were engaging in that obstacle. Just so you know, Warrior Rick. Okay, you're on mute. You want to say something, Rick? Go ahead. You're still on mute. You're still on mute. Press it again. He needed help from Nico.
At least I can still see.
You were saying something, Rick. Go ahead.
I tell you what, this age thing is not for sissies. Hey, so Dominique, I think, started it off right when she was telling us before we went on the show that I need to be mindful of the wrinkles. Well, my sister soldier, it's more than just wrinkles I got to worry about. Hey, but
we all do. I'm not far behind you.
But listen, you've got it in your genes. Hey, so when you were talking about Kathy, Nico and I were listening very attentively and knowing that there is no excuse. So we're gonna keep at it.
100%.
I wanted to address, if I can, Chika, just very quickly, your
Go
question
ahead.
around the adaptive athletes, because that's dear to our heart here at Eduplex. So, as Nico explained, Eduplex was built with the physically challenged in mind. It was specific to folks who had cochlear implants, obviously the deaf, both from a training perspective as well as the students. So we are completely au fait with opening the doors to the physically challenged. We have been in talks with the adaptive athletes. I know them well. Thomas will remember clearly when they joined us for the adventure challenge that we had with Multiply, as well as some of the warrior races. And we are prepared for them to come out on the day and to continue to help us help them. So it depends on what we need to adapt to. So there's the whole adaptive sports team, and I know them very, very well. But we need them to come out so we can talk about what are the challenges. What is the physical challenge? So we all have our challenges. We need to know what theirs is specifically, and we then can talk about the physical apparatus, how we can help them, how we can assist. But we are ready and prepared, even if this is a testing ground for our next event later in the year. So please, adaptive athletes, come on out. There are oh my goodness, Dominique. There are athletes. There are obstacles for everybody, just like Dominique's cat. We've got them covered as well. But we've got obstacles for just about everyone, and that includes our adaptive athletes. We don't want to leave anyone out, so please come out and let's have the discussions about how we can get them fully equipped and prepared for the next race, if not even this race, depending on what the physical challenge is.
So Thank you, Rick, for answering that question. Andy Reid, if you're still tuned into the show, please make sure that just reach out to Eduplex Sport. Have that coordination with them, and I'm sure Nico and the rest of the gang there with Rick there, and even our elite athletes, if they're present at the venue, they'd love to help our adaptive athletes or your adaptive athletes to join and have fun as well. Okay, so don't forget that, Andy. Get in touch with Eduplex Sport, and for sure they'll be helping you. Okay,
And
we're nearing the end.
They're welcome to contact me directly, Chiki. If they can't get a hold of Eduplex, they're welcome to reach out to me as well.
All right. Warrior Rick, may you share your social media handle, your account handle?
I just did, my brother. It's Warrior Rick. It's on the screen. It's Warrior
That's it.
Rick. Chiki,
That's it.
I'm not a worrier, brother. I'm a warrior. There's a difference.
You're not a warrior, you're a warrior. So
There you go.
that's at Warrior Rick. Look for him on social media, and he'd be glad to help you guys. Okay, we're nearing the end of the show. The final two segments. I'd like to ask this question to everyone. Okay, and Warrior Rick, I hope you don't mind if you could mute your microphone for a bit until I loop back into you. I'll ask Armin first. I'll go Armin, then Thomas, then Dominique, then Nico and Rick. Guys, how important and crucial is this event that we're having or you're having on May 22, and the role of South Africa, not just in promoting the sport of obstacle racing, but also in inspiring and motivating people from all over the world to not stop hoping and believing that together we can all survive this pandemic. Armin, I'll start with you.
Yes, Chiki. I think it's good in a sense that they at least its contribution to return to a bit of normal or what we've been used to pre-pandemic, and in a sense it just gives us hope that we can still have events, we can still have fun, and life is going to continue, and we need to learn and learn to adapt to the situation and the circumstances, and ultimately it just teaches us to not let go of what is important to us. So just there's always a way to do what you love, and you just need to go find that, and along the way, drag people with you. People are super invested in, and not just OCR, all the various sports, and there's always a way to get involved and to grow and to prosper whatever you're passionate about.
Thank you, Armin. Thank you. Very inspiring words coming from our Armin Botha. And I do hope that your team would hit the podium on Saturday. And you were so safe in your answer. But Warrior Rick was able to throw in a couple of names from your team that might hit the podium. So I'm wishing them all the best. Thomas, I'll jump to you now. So your side, how do you think, how crucial will this race play in promoting and inspiring people, motivating people to stay positive, none hoping that this will end, believing that this will end if together we do our part? Oh, we lost Thomas just when he was about to answer. Okay, so we'll try to get Thomas back in. We'll jump to Dominique first. Dominique, you might want to jump into that.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So I think the key thing is that we actually get going. Obviously, we need to follow safety protocols, and I think Eduplex has done that really, really well. I think they're taking all the precautions in order to be able to start running these races again and continue with them. We don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. We don't know what kind of restrictions the government is going to set on us, but we have to do the best that we can. And if we do it properly, we'll be able to do another event and another event and get the ball rolling again. So I think Eduplex has done a great thing in getting things going and getting it done properly. And hopefully that sets an example for other race organizers. Even if you have to start with your event small, keep the numbers minimal, but follow all the safety protocols, then you can do another one. And as the pandemic starts easing, if you could call it that, then I think we'll be able to start having a lot more events, give people goals to shoot for, get people's spirits going again, because we all know that if you've got something to aim for, you get your training going, you get more motivated, and that I think that will uplift the spirits in any country. Oh,
well said, Dominique. Thank you for sharing those encouraging words. And we'll try to see if we could bring Thomas back in. But in the meantime, I'd like to hear from Nico. Nico, from your end, I mean, how important and crucial will this event be in the role of South Africa in promoting obstacle sport or obstacle racing, and also inspiring and motivating people that we can do this together? Go ahead, Nico.
I think I agree with Dominique. You know, we don't know what's going to happen, but we can't all sit at home. So we have to start improvising and move forward. Specifically in the school, we've seen what happens when children for 1 year sit at home. We cannot carry on like that. So in a safe environment and in a very responsible way, it's time that people get in the outdoors. We're very lucky in South Africa with the weather. So it's a safe environment. Get out, get active. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. And I think for all sports, it's important, not just OCR.
Thank you, Nico. We'll jump to Thomas. Thomas would like to hear
What's
from you
happening?
before we end our show. And Dominic, I know that you might have to leave, but in case you can still stay for a few, just to say bye bye to everyone, then that would be nice. But if not, thank you, Dominic, for gracing our show, and I hope I could invite you again in the near future. Right. So,
Thanks.
thank you, thank
That,
you.
thanks, Chicky. Sorry, I don't want to take any words away from Thomas, but just Nico reminded me of something that I wanted to say with regards to the whole pandemic and having events again. Like, it's so important for us to be active, to build our immune system and to be healthy, because if we're not healthy, we're not going to fight anything. It doesn't matter if it's COVID, the common cold, or whatever it is. And yeah, our immune systems need exercise in order to get stronger. So I think it's important for people to exercise in whatever way or form. You don't have to do a competitive race. You can just come out and have fun. And the beauty about races like Eduplex OCR is that you can do it for fun. You don't have to come and be competitive. So sorry, I don't mean to butt in. I just wanted to say that as well.
No, no, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Indeed, I have to agree with you. We need to exercise. We need to move in order to strengthen our immune system. Thank you for sharing that, Dominic. Thomas, before the signal gets bad again, I want to go to your end and I want to hear your thoughts. So it's a challenge, I believe, on the side of Thomas
Thanks,
as
Chicky.
well.
Yeah, let's jump on the opportunity.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. But yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Firstly, I think from all of us, it's a lot of we spoke about mental aspects now, we spoke about physical aspects, but I think it's just important for us to have that event, not for the physical size of it, but for the effects that it has in the community and the bigger picture behind it all, for just people in general, lifting the hopes, lifting the spirits of people, and making sure everyone has something to aim towards, or just to feel worthy and to feel like they have a way out. Some people, especially in these times, depression is a real problem, and I think you guys hosting the show, everybody hosting the event, the athletes in general, just the whole community, I feel there's way bigger impact than us just doing the sport. So to you guys, thanks, and to everyone in the show, everyone out there in community, yeah, just thank you for being there. Thank you for hosting us, all the South Africans here in sunny South Africa, and hopefully what we do has bigger positive impacts than we know.
Thank you, Thomas. And really looking forward to seeing you guys on the race course next weekend. I'll jump to Warrior Rick. I guess it's good that we end with our energetic MC for next week. Warrior Rick, would like to hear from you. How crucial will next week's event be in the promotion of the sport and in inspiring people during these tough times? Hold on. And I'm not sure if Warrior Rick heard me there or he is busy engaging. You're on mute, my friend.
I can
Go
hear
ahead. Okay.
I can hear you fine. So yeah, so I'm just saying that I agree with you 100% that it is about the event on Saturday, the 22nd of May, and making sure that we keep our kids active and whatnot. But it's bigger than the sport, my friend. This obstacle course racing is about overcoming obstacles. I can't think of a bigger obstacle than we hit in March of 2020. It's been 14 months now. And this type of obstacle, no one could have anticipated. Nico has said it, Thomas has said it, Dominique has said it, and I'm sure I can speak for Armin and for Claude as well, that obstacle course racing is bigger than the sport. Obstacle course racing is about living your dream, having a vision, and doing things that you know are difficult, but that they will be worth it. So Saturday, the 22nd of May is not just about all these wonderful obstacles and a wonderful venue and people with the right mindset. It's about the world coming together and recognizing that if we don't do it together, we're going to lose. But when we've got the right coaching, the right athletes, and the right attitude, we can do anything in life. And that goes for my teachers, my pastors, my fire chiefs. We need to start setting an example, Chinky. And until we do that in society, we're going to be selfish. We're going to just be taking selfies and looking for likes. And that needs to stop. We need to be looking for love. And I think instead of doing selfies, we should do what I'm doing now. Focus on the youth, focus on development, and focus on a growing nation like South Africa where we can be better. It's only a splinter, my brother. You can keep going. It's only a splinter. You can keep going.
Wow. Love that message. Warrior Rick, I love that message coming from our chief inspirer, Rick Gressel. And Direk, if you could please bring all the guests back in. We're about to end our show, and Dominique had to leave. Oh, Dominique's still here. Thank you. Thomas, I think, has a problem with his connection, but this is where we part ways, unfortunately. This is where we part ways. And Warrior Rick, if you could kindly mute your mic for a few.
Sorry, guys. I've got an online session starting now, so they're not on yet. So I thought, let me
Yep,
say bye.
we're ending the show already, and I'd like to say thank you to all of our guests from Warrior Rick, Ricardo Gressel, Nico van der Merwe, of course Claude Eckstein. Unfortunately, we couldn't interview him a lot today because of signal problems. Armin Botha, thank you so much. Thomas Van Tonder, Dominique de Oliveira, thank you for being with us in Sports Locked and Loaded, and thank you for allowing us to dive into your world of obstacle racing, and we hope you guys all the best in this coming May 22nd in that OCR at Eduplex. So Warrior Rick, thank you. Nico, thank you. Dominique and Armin and Thomas and
Thank you.
everybody else. Stewart unfortunately couldn't join us. He's busy training right now. So thank you so much. We'll see you all next week, May 22. Watch out for the live broadcast of OCR at Eduplex. It starts at 7, but I think the show will start at 6:30 in the morning. Okay? So watch out for more details of OCR at Eduplex. For Rick Gressel, Nico, Dominic, Thomas, Armin, Claude, and even Stuart, my name is Chiki Reyes, together with Nick Earnshaw, saying thank you very much for watching another edition of your Sports Locked and Loaded. And as I always say, stay safe, stay home, pray, and stay locked and loaded. We'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.